Welcome to A&B Horror Movies. I'm Aaron, and I'm very excited to be joined today by Mark Cantu, Brian Ceponis, Daniel Thomas Ebeling, Stanton Rutledge, and Lynn Thrace Werkheiser. Welcome to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. I have you all on today to talk about your brand new film, Grind.
It's Ilsun 4K, and tonight I'm coming to you live from the Grindfest 2025 Film Festival, brought to us by Orangetown University.
Grindfest?
Yeah, I didn't pick the name.
So, a Grindhouse festival, huh?
I don't know what makes an absolute classic yet.
Now that is sex and ice cream.
By God, Grace, it'll stay that way. Showing more of your sinful, trashy movies?
It's like a black and white art house movie, something about like cults and rituals, and think about it. One night only, we play the absolute cheesiest movies, and then we cap it off with this.
40 years ago, I got lucky. I was able to push it back then. I've shredded that film, I burned it, but it always comes back somehow. It's creating some kind of war. Space, time, everything smeared together.
How fantastic is that? I love the premise. Congratulations on your movie. Let's jump right into it. So as I ask you questions, I'll probably just introduce you a little bit and say like, what your role was with the film, just so we can get right into the questions. I loved your movie. I watched it twice, and I'm very excited to talk with you about it today. So Mark, why don't we start with you first? So Mark, thank you so much for coming on the show. Once again, it's really nice to see you. It's nice to talk with you. And I had you on before to talk about Wolf Hollow. It's got a physical copy of it now, which is fantastic. So you co-wrote, you directed, you produced Grind. You're the mastermind behind this new film. So my first question for you is, how did Grind come about? What was the inspiration for making a movie theater horror that is also an homage to many films that we're all familiar with?
I thought your first question was going to be, what is your problem? Because you made this movie. You're responsible for this whole thing.
Oh my gosh, not at all.
What's your diagnosis, Mark? So, yeah, honestly, the inspiration behind it, we were literally coming like right off of Wolf Hollow. Like we were done with the premiere. We were in the middle of like delivering, to post-production for Gravitas. And I just kind of had a bit of a nervous breakdown. I was just like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like I just literally just checked out. And so I was quite literally, I was in my office here one day, just kind of like painting and just kind of just trying to keep the creative juices flowing, but not really focusing on any one thing. And then all of a sudden I just quite literally had the title, the title card, the way the letters look. I just had that pop into my head, and I was like, Grind. I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, I don't know. And so it was literally like just kind of like a lightning strike, like just kind of came out of nowhere, gave me the title logo, and I was like, okay, what the hell? What do I do with that? Like, is that a movie? Is that like? So then I just started to kind of like, instead of painting, I started putting fake posters together, and I was like, you know what? Let me just throw stuff up and let me just see what happens. And I started to think of like, oh, maybe like a cosmic thing. And it started to kind of act as therapy. Like I was going through a bit of a depression. So I was like, well, maybe the cosmic void is kind of like the thing with, pulling you into ultimate darkness. And so I started to kind of like infuse it with a lot of what I was going through. And then the topper was, well, how do I fit Ceponis into this? And I was like, because I've already I've spent two movies in a row covering his face up
Yes.
the entire
Oh,
way.
there you
And
go.
I was like,
Yes.
how do I fit him into this? And the first thing I thought of, I was like, I'm gonna give him a mustache. I was like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna give him. And then it just evolved from there. And I was like, oh, he's in the movie and he's this thing and he's that. And it quite literally just all made sense and dovetailed into itself. And I was like, wow, it was probably the easiest kind of start of an idea and then writing the idea, telling Ceponis about the idea. Like it was the easiest process I've probably ever had. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love hearing how it all came together. And actually that leads me to my next question, which is for you, Brian, because you play Wes Brantley in the film, who's kind of like an action hero who has a high opinion of himself. Um, but you're kind of a badass too. Oh man, I loved your character in the movie. I guess my question is, what was it like bringing Wes Brantley to life, and how much fun was it playing him
Oh,
in this film?
well, just to preface a little bit of to dovetail of what Mark said, he was going to take a break after Wolf Hollow, like a
Oh,
year or something.
we
Like
know that's not
I'm
true.
gonna take a, I'm done. I'm done with this filmmaking stuff. I'm gonna take a break, and then 2 weeks later, I have a script in my hand for Grind. I'm like, what the? Seriously. So
that's
We were,
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, we were joking about it right afterwards. Mark said, we're taking a break. Me and his spouse and Brian were like, we should start a betting pool. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, how long until he already has an idea for the next one?
yeah. And next thing you know, I got a script in my hand. But as far as Wes Brantley, I mean, I've never had the chance to play a character like him because he's one of those bigger than life characters that you just have to have fun with. I mean, he
Mhm.
doesn't he takes himself seriously to a point, but then he doesn't because he's a big goofball. But
Mhm.
he's a stud. He's like a goofball stud, I guess, if you will. And it was just, oh my God, so much fun to play him between what we did in Grind and then also what we did in the little short, the film within the
Mhm.
film, McQueen was even more fun because we're just being completely stupid and silly with that whole thing, and it worked out great. But I mean, he's the kind of character that when you just grab on with both hands and say, you know what, I'm just gonna ride this role and see where it goes, and we had a blast with it.
Oh, it's so good. And I want to come back to those shorts, especially the chase scene. But I'll come back to that because it's so good. So good. Um, let's see. Daniel, you play Hutch in the film, which is, I would say, probably the lead character, and you're a final boy too, I would say. Others survive in the film. I don't want to give anything away, but look at that. Not many can say I played a final boy in horror. So congratulations on that. My first question for you is, what was it like playing Hutch in the film? What did you bring to the table for that character, and how did it all come about? How did you get cast in Grind?
So funny enough, speaking of like being like, I'm gonna take a break. I got done with school and I was like, I'm tired, I'm gonna take a break. I did a lot of stuff in college and I was just kind of chilling at home and I'm on the Facebook Filmmakers Association page for Pittsburgh. So I'm just like, I'll gander through. Why not? And I'm going and I see Grind. I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. Yeah, what is it? And I'm like read into it, and I was like, you know what? I'll put one in just for fun. So I put in a headshot and everything, and then Mark gets back to me. He's like, here's some sides for Maddie, who is the one character in the beginning of the film, um,
Yes.
and also the one for Hutch. So I originally wanted to audition for Maddie, and then I read that, and then Mark was like, send me this one. Do this scene. So it was the scene between Joey and I in the diner. And I
Yeah.
remember doing that and then getting a call back. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I did the callback and it was for a very emotional scene in the film.
Mm.
Um, I don't want to say anything just in case no one's seen it yet. But it was very emotionally tolling. And I remember getting that email from Mark saying like, hey, we want to cast you. I was like, holy crap. I remember like getting up and like dancing around the room. I was like, this is awesome. But
Cool.
playing Hutch was fun mainly because it didn't feel like acting for me. I'm one of those people who are like, I'm a big movie buff. I like making dumb dad jokes every 5 seconds, pop culture references. So whenever I read the script, I think I said to you, Mark, once, I was like, after the table read, I was like, so you pretty much just want me to be myself. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
We had that
So,
conversation. Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was funny. But overall, it was
So
just it
cool.
was so fun being a part of this project, and this just amazing film, and being able to play a character that is so much similar to myself, really just kind of helped me get more, deeply engrossed into the plot and the script and everything. So I would say it was a very, very fun time being able
Oh,
to be
amazing.
Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And it feels authentic. You did such a great job in your role as well. Um, and that brings me over to Stanton. So you play Kenny in the film, who is Hutch's father. I guess I have a similar question for you. What did you bring to the role, and what was it like being part of Grind?
Well, I have to tell you, when I first met Mark, it was I think they were screening Massacre Academy. And I was in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh doing another project with Brian Ceponis. And I met Mark, and I told Mark, I said, I want to work with you. So I loved what he did with Massacre. And then I said, I want to work on your next project. And didn't think I'd hear from him, but he did get a hold of me and said he was writing this movie, and he was thinking about this one character that I would play, and Kenny.
Mhm.
And he sent me the initial script, and I jumped on right away because, number one, I knew Mark's work, and awesome director, and Brian told me how great Mark was to work with and how creative and genius like Mark was. So I wanted to work with him, and I've never done a horror movie, so this was kind of a step out of my cop movies, detective, typecasting stuff. So, and it was a comedy, and then I got on the set, and just awesome. And playing Daniel's dad, it was fun playing with Daniel because he could be my son. In fact, we had to do the blood test to make sure that was the case. But we just had fun. The interaction between us was real. And the hardest scene I had to deal with was one scene with Daniel, and it wasn't, and it was probably one of my best scenes I've done as an actor over the 30 years I've been doing this.
I know exactly what you're referring to. And I have another question. I'll come back to you, though. I do want to ask you about your near-death scene. But no spoilers. I won't say whether you survive or not. So, Thrace, I have a question for you. So you produced Grind. You also worked with Mark on Wolf Hollow, which I showed. What is it like working with Mark? How did you get involved with Grind? And what was your experience taking on a producer role with Grind?
I think I met him right as they had finished wrapping up filming for Massacre Academy, and they were doing pickups and close-ups. I happened to be hanging out, and he's like, "Do you want to help smash a head in for a close-up shot?" And I was like, "Absolutely! I'm so down for this."
And
Like,
that's all it took. You had me at
and
hello.
that's all it took.
And then we were in love. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I used to do theater for years, and I do cosplay makeup and stuff for fun. So when he had just tossed that out, I was like, yeah, no, absolutely. Then Wolf Hollow came about, and I jumped on. I'm like, I got one of the perks to help do the explosions for that movie, which was really cool, and was helping out with the effects makeup and all the blood effects for that, and the arm pull. And then when Grind came out, I was like, take my money. Like, I want to be a producer on the next one. Like, I want to help with more of the makeup. And when I'm on set, I'm just whatever's needed. Here's some smoke grenades. Go have fun. My favorite thing about this, and I hope to be involved in more, is just the energy on set. Like, everything feels like family. Everyone is super supportive. Anything that's needed, here, can you hold it? Like, go hold this light up here for like an hour and make it look like a light bulb swinging. Like, everyone is super helpful, and it's just a really good time. It's good energy on set. So yeah,
go
ahead.
You bloodied me up really well. And You're awesome to work with. Your energy and your support of everybody on that set was amazing.
Thank you.
I swear there's still purple
Nice
goo
to hear.
in my hair.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be,
I
it's supposed to
bet.
be water soluble.
I don't know about that.
Oh gosh.
On the back.
gosh.
Oh, yes, that's right. Does not wash out.
Oh,
Okay.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
not guaranteed. You got to read the finer print.
Super small print. Can't even see it.
Poor Dan.
Oh my
I-
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, he got covered in that stuff.
He got covered, and it washes. It's water
Mm.
soluble. Like it's Elmer's glue and like non-toxic paint and
Oh,
things
right
like
on
that.
his face, right?
But yeah, it's all like
Dripping down. Yeah.
the slime.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
he had a lot of hair product in, and so it really like
Oh, like-
stuck to his hair. And
Oh
we're
my
like, we have
gosh.
to wash it off a bunch because now he's got to shoot a scene out of sequence from before that got on it. So I had to run down to like Dollar General and get shampoo, and we're like shampooing his hair in the janitor's sink in this old defunct bank building. Like,
Yes. Hair's
It
coming
was-
out. You might be losing some of your hair in this process.
if he lost any hair, he would have drowned me in that sink. Like,
okay. I
like-
can always edit this out if you want, but I'm joking.
he's such a sweetheart. Like, he was a lot of fun. to
He's
work
so
with.
good. So good. Yes. So speaking of the energy on set, Mark, this is another ensemble cast, I would say, just like with Wolf Hollow. Is that sort of your style now? Do you feel comfortable doing ensemble cast films, and will you do that going forward? And then I guess from an acting perspective, what's it like being in a movie that has an ensemble cast?
Yeah, I think that's always something that I've gravitated towards, even just in general, because my background is in acting. So my career, I started off acting when I was in high school and college. I did, plays on main stages and stuff like that, and then community theater. So I'm always comfortable kind of being a part of a bigger group and not just kind of having, and it's kind of almost like a jazz band where it's like everybody gets their moment to kind of shine and kind of pop, and but you can't have just one person kind of above like everybody's got to be equal. That's the way I approach making movies. That's the way, and sometimes on set, like I said, it does get a little tense where you're just like, okay, I got to focus and I got to do this on the day. But at the end of the day, it really is about the piece of work that you're trying to accomplish. And like I said, and when it's 25 people, sometimes there are directors that can't handle that. They're just like, I can only handle 5 actors and I don't want to talk to anybody else. And that's literally it. Me, I'm actually more comfortable dealing with bigger crowds and dealing with bigger set pieces and being like, okay, I know how to wield a day like that where it's like, okay, let's move the machine this way and move the machine that way. And I kind of know how to plan for those things. And when I have that comfort, then that trickles down to the actors and the cast and the crew, and where everybody goes, oh, well, Mark knows what he's doing. He's in charge, and it's fine. So it just makes the day go a lot more smoothly. But then if I'm relaxed, they're relaxed, everybody's happy, everybody's in a good mood. And at the end of the day, when we're making movies, like, you want to get along. You want to make sure that everybody's happy. You're spending long hours on set, and you're just like, I don't want to be mad at anybody. I want to have a great time, So there's a lot of work to do, but like I said, it always makes it a bit of a family atmosphere, like Thrace was saying, where it's just like we're all together in this machine. We're all trying to get the same thing done. So moving forward, that's kind of my ideal, is that I'm always kind of part of an ensemble cast. And like I said, even if I make a cameo as well somewhere in there, that's great. But for the most part, I'm, running ensembles for the rest of my career. So that's my hope and dream. Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that, because I just want to say you're very good at it. And I could see that Wolf Hollow was great with the ensemble cast, but I can see improvements in Grind. So I would say keep at it. And I think you should do more cameos in your films.
You know what?
There you go.
Maybe that'll happen. I was bank robber, bad guy, or what is it? Stop a thief number one, or
henchman.
I got you. No, I got you.
I'm sorry. I'm henchman number 1, and then I'm also Dirk Star at some point, and I'm like a voice on the radio. So I'm in there a couple of times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So I guess for Brian, Daniel, and Stanton, what would you say about being part of an ensemble cast film? What are the challenges that come along with that? And how would you say it worked out with Grind from your view?
Who wants to go first? I know.
Brian, do you want to jump in? Or Stanton?
Go ahead, Daniel. You had your finger on your nose.
Or Daniel?
It was fun. Really, I've only did one other feature before doing Grind, and it was a war film, and that was back in 2021. And it wasn't really that big of a cast like that. It wasn't really an ensemble. It was just like a couple people on set per day. And even when I did student films in college, it was, the same kind of deal. So The Grind was really the first film that I got to be in that was an ensemble cast. And I think honestly, it made it so much easier because everybody's chemistry on that set, like Thrace was saying, it was like family. And everybody was just like feeding off of each other. And it was just the stuff that was, acted out, and even so many things that happened too that were like unscripted that just happened naturally because everybody just got along with each other so well. So really being able to be a part of like an ensemble cast like that really, I think helped a lot. Not only like me, like it personally acting wise, but also just overall having a fun experience with it just because having that kind of chemistry with everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
think the ensemble cast, especially when you have a cast that they're all talented, you can, even at my age, and I've done a lot of different feature films that had big cast, but after the director yelled cut, some of the major stars would go to their trailers and not interact off the camera.
Disappear,
Just
right?
becoming what?
They disappear,
What?
it sounds like.
They disappear until they are called to come do their scene, and then they go back to the trailer. This cast was not only talented, they're so nice and easy to work with, easy to get along. And I learned from actors. Every time I work with an actor, I'll take something they do and apply it to what I'm going to do on my next role or during that film. And Mark made it just so easy. Yeah, it was. I mean, we were on a tight schedule, and he had a hammer. He was. That's what a director's supposed to do. But he also made everyone feel so important. He made me feel as important as he made Brian, who was, the Wes Brantley star of the movie. He made everyone so comfortable. So, and with the makeup people, and when I wasn't in front of the camera, I was wanting to just hold a light or do something as a crew member, just because I wanted to be around that energy Mark was, generating. And I've done a couple films where it was just two people, two actors in the scene. I like the ensemble, especially when it's a lot of zombies, when we're shooting and we're killing and we're doing all this stuff. And I don't know how Mark keeps track of everybody, because there's a lot going on in this movie. But I can't wait to work with Mark again, and I'll do whatever he writes for me. I'll do it.
We've got something planned. We've already had this conversation.
Cool. Good. I'm glad you heard her. That would have been a very awkward moment. Go ahead.
I'm like, yeah, Stan, you're not coming back.
We'll be in touch.
Right.
I was going to say, I think Mark's superpower is when he's casting, it's just as much about the person, not just how good they are going to be in this role. It's what kind of chemistry are they going to bring to the crew? Like, are they going to be on? Are they going to click? And it's why you'll see people repeatedly, movie after movie, you're like, oh my God, it was so good working with them. I want that energy again for the next one. And like going forward, one after the next. And it just builds. So when the next movie comes out, you're like, you already know 6 people from the last one. So that chemistry starts the seed for that to grow for the next ensemble cast. And everyone picks up on that, and it just blooms. And it's beautiful to watch happen.
Very true. I think to kind of jump off Thrace's point there as well, is she's absolutely right. That we absolutely make it a priority in casting to say, okay, how is this person going to fit into, the entire group? that's existing already, or because it's kind of almost like painting, like you're putting one stroke of paint down and you got to kind of match it to the next one, and you kind of match it. And so sometimes you have to think in those terms where it's like, are they going to slow me down, or are they going to help move the day along? And 9 times out of 10, if you're moving the day along, like, I mean, one of the reasons why we talked about Stanton as well, like I said, Brian was like, I love Stanton. Stanton's my brother. He's fucking amazing. Like, he is one of the best actors as well, but he's also super professional. He's going to be on point. He's going to know his stuff. And I'm like, well, then why would you not want someone like that? Like I said, a great teammate to be right there, side by side with you the whole way. And so those types of things are always considered, because you want the day to go as smoothly as possible, because you're going to have days where shit breaks down, things, go in the toilet, and you're just like, okay. And the last thing you want to do at that point is turn and see somebody in the corner sulking because they're not getting enough attention. You're just like, don't talk to me right now. Just leave me alone.
Yes.
And you want somebody on the day who's going to be a problem solver as well, and just go, hey, what do you need done? Where do you need me right now? So that attitude is always, like I said, it's part of the casting process, but yeah, it's always considered too.
Yeah, and it's a team effort, and I love the fact that there are actors that return from your previous films, because it's almost like a reunion of sorts. And those who watch your films, watch your new ones, you're like, oh yeah, they're back. And I don't know, I had the same reaction with this one. So I want to be mindful of time, but I also want to ask about the effects, because they look amazing, like the lightning, the eyes. Brings Dario Argento's Demons to mind. I grabbed this off the shelf in anticipation of this, which I love that film. What was it like in post-production, adding all sort of the movie magic, like the demonic possessions into it, I guess combined with the purple goop that we talked about already? How did you make it look so stunning? I guess is my question.
Honestly, the first step for us, and like Ceponis and Thrace and I had this conversation, is the eyes are real. Like, we've got rigs that they're wearing on set, so it's kind of almost like for my money, the look that I was after, because Demons is definitely part of it. Absolutely,
for sure, yeah.
Especially that poster is so iconic. Like I said, the cover art, like that stuck with me when I was a kid forever. So when I saw The World's End, which is Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, when I saw that was the first thing that popped. I was like, oh, it's like Demon. Oh, okay, I get it. It's like Demons. And so as I was kind of coming up with like imagery in my head for Grind, I was like, well, what do I want to kind of go after? And I wanted to go less into like the gore, like I said, because Wolf Hollow is probably my goriest movie at this point. Massacre's got a good run for its money, but Wolf's pretty up there. But Grind, I was like, well, let's go a bit more sci-fi. Let's go a bit more kind of cosmic, and let's kind of aim a bit more in this direction. And so at that point, it kind of lent itself to, the cosmic eyes and the lightning and things like that. So I wanted to kind of open it up to a different color palette, things like that. So the eyes are actually real. They're all battery-powered rigs that they're literally just wearing. And if they're just slightly, if they're just slightly out of focus in the background, like if I'm focused on one person here, but everybody else is out of focus, you can't see that they're wearing rigs. You just see the eyes glowing, and that's it. So it was working harder. So there's very little I had to do with the actual eyes in post. There's a couple of shots where I did have to kind of go in and supplement and be like, no, I got to really like fix that one. And then for the most part, like I said, it's just, the lightning. I think I was in post, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I was in post on this maybe like 6 or 7 months, where I was just like kind of going frame by frame, kind of just doing all the effects work and stuff. So
Well, it looks so good, and like it's definitely cosmic horror, at least elements of cosmic horror with the clouds and the lightning, and it just looks fantastic. I've got to ask about the sort of the fake Grindhouse films that you have in your movie and the little trailers that you created, because oh my God, they're so much fun. I found myself laughing out loud when I watched the back, and I've got to read some of these because they're just amazing. Subway Samurai, McQueen, Bullet Babes 2. I hope I wrote these titles down right. Quest for the Kingdom of Barbarian Rage. It's a mouthful. Dirk Star, my favorite sex-crazed vampire strippers from Mars. Um, I hope you make full-length feature films for all of these. But my question is, how fun was it coming up with these titles and acting in these sort of short, fake commercials? Because they're just so much fun.
So funny enough, so I came up with most of them, but
Okay.
I'm gonna ask because I haven't asked this question yet. This is probably this is an exclusive. Brian, when I pitched those titles to you, did you stop and just go, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with your brain, Mark? Like because honestly, like some of those just came out of the ether. It was like, the Emperor picking out Darth Vader's name. It was just like, yeah, that one, and maybe that one. It was like, I think the only one that I really had to work at was Quest for the Kingdom of Barbarian Rage, because I was like, it's got to sound like this really unwieldy title that just sounds like they just threw everything in the kitchen sink into the title, and it was like, wait, what? It was like, it felt like one of those 80s canon movies where it was like they just didn't know where to land with it, so they just threw everything at it. So
Yeah.
It's funny because when he threw out the posters, I was like, shut up and take my money. Like, just the posters of those, I was like, I am absolutely jumping on a producer for this movie just for this, because it was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, the best chase scene ever. Brian, we were talking about that a little bit. How was it? What was your motivation for creating the best scene ever? No pressure to do that, though, but best chase scene ever captured in a film.
The best chase scene ever, and it all is centered around Wes Brantley's exquisite running style.
Yes.
Which Mark and I had conversations about how we wanted to pattern Wes Brantley and his exquisite running style, and we were kind of looking at other actors, and one we kind of settled on was Steven Seagal, kind of the way he runs. And we were actually out at the Smod Castle, Kevin Smith's place in New Jersey, and he's like, "Hey, I want you." So I was literally on the street. I'm trying it, so I start doing Wes Brantley running down the street in front of the Smod Castle cinemas out there, and that's it. That's what we're doing. So that is kind of how it was born, and we just rolled with it. And yeah, now you have plus you have to have the pause, the quintessential '70s pose with the gun.
Because you have the gun too, no less.
The gun, but you got to do the quintessential pose, get back into the run, stop, I got you, shoot, stop, henchman, I'll get you. Kind of thing. So,
I do need a shirt that just says "Stop, you henchman."
Stop, you henchman.
Yes.
New tagline for.
You should make shirts for every one of those titles. I think that would be fantastic. If it happens, let me know.
Yeah, we've got Subway Samurai, and we've got a couple that have already been made. I've got a Dirk Star one. Like I definitely, I was wearing that on set.
Cool.
A couple of days. So yeah, I've got one. So.
Let's see. So I also wanted to ask a little bit about, because there's some action elements in this. It's horror, but there's definitely some action. Yeah. There's some shootouts with the zombies. There's some attack and fight scenes. So my question for Daniel and Stanton first is, what was it like pulling those scenes off? Daniel, there is a moment where you have a very large gun, from my recollection, and Stanton, you have a very difficult attack scene that you did a fantastic job with, but it's quite brutal in the film. So why don't we? So maybe Daniel, why don't you start first? What was it like working with the movie magic prop weapons?
I'll tell you, the goddamn movie magic. It was.
Yes.
No, it was a lot of fun. I've always been that kid who would, play with toy guns and play war in the backyard with my friends and stuff like that. So being able to be part of this project where there is gunplay involved and being able to do all this fun stuff. I mean, I even felt bad. We did promo pictures for the characters at Mark's place like a couple months before filming, and he handed me the SMG that I used in the film, which I got to keep. And Mark, I will love you till the end of time for letting me keep that. So it's sitting on my bookshelf. I love it. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, wow.
I remember picking it up and laughing hysterically because on top of this thing is just a sniper scope on an SMG.
For no reason
whatsoever. So I remember just like standing there, like flicking the mag out and catching it and like dropping a couple times, like, oops. So I would play with this thing nonstop, and then I'll never forget the last day of filming on our pickup day in January. And Mark goes, if it goes anywhere and it goes missing, I didn't see it. And I went, stay last, you're going with me.
Nice.
But no, being able to be a part of a film with that kind of element to it, there was just a lot of fun moments, getting to launch yourself onto crash mats and even I asked Mark at the end if I could add in a little like parkour roll for like the final shootout scene. It was fun. It kind of let that inner child out a little bit. So it was definitely an overall fun experience being able to be a part of something with those kind of elements involved.
Yes, very much badass, just like Wes Brantley. So right up there.
You are.
So yes, Stanton. So over to you. That one scene that I'm speaking to, where you do get attacked. What was it like bringing that to life on the screen and filming that one?
Well, actually, and go back when watching it at the premiere, I was kind of taken back by the crowd's reaction when that happened because it was like laughing at my lines because I was delivering some lines to the vagrant guy, and they were laughing, and then all of a sudden, Molly, who did an awesome job in this movie, she surprised me as quickly as she really hit me in the back when she I mean, I felt it. And I was surprised by the audience reaction to it because they were just like, oh, what happened? And Molly didn't pull any punches. She kicked me against the wall. Mark did a great job filming this too, because it comes across really deadly. And I should have died from that. The way she, stabbed me in the back, then she stabbed me 4 times in the stomach. And Thrace makes me, oh man, blood on that shirt. And that was hard to get off too, by the way. It stuck between the shirt and the skin. But anyway, and then Mark kept me, well, I won't give anything away, but I was able to do some fun shooting scenes with my son and with Wes Brantley. And that was fun because, But Molly,
you did it again. Go ahead. You did a fantastic job, and it is very brutal. Molly does come at you hard. I hope the two of you are still on speaking terms after that intense moment. I'm kidding. So, Thrace, from the effects that you were involved with the film, what would you say was the biggest challenge and maybe most rewarding with pulling off some of the effects there?
The biggest challenge was probably not knowing ahead of time. Sometimes when people would be wearing one outfit and they're like, okay, in 5 minutes, this outfit needs to be full of bullet holes and blood. And then it was just like, who's got a knife? And so Brian Bell, who plays the priest character, whose name I suddenly forgot, Walt, always had a blade on him. And the number of times I'm sitting there in the corner, out like off screen, shaving a shirt to like cut it and distress it and bloody it up because it's got to be on scene in like 3 minutes for the next one. And then being like, you guys brought another shirt, right? Because now we're going to film the scene before this scene. So like the back and forth and not knowing of who was going to be on set that day. And that was probably the biggest challenge, but also the most fun, because anytime someone gives you a challenge and you can rise to it, that's such a good feeling. So that was probably the hardest.
And the way you've been describing it all as like a family on set, to be part of the family and the team, I think it's from what I'm observing, was very rewarding and a very productive and nice environment to be in. I have a question, I guess, for all of you. So I mentioned demons. What other films would you use to describe Grind? Sort of like Alien meets Predator, but obviously not those. For those who haven't seen the film, I mean, no pressure. What comes to mind?
The Void.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Yeah. That's good.
Excuse me. Yeah, I would say, like I said, because The Void is definitely one of the inspirations for it. But again, and this may segue nicely into the end of the interview, but Grindhouse is another one. Just the attitude of Grindhouse, the attitude of the trailers in Grindhouse. and specifically like in Grindhouse, like I said, within that format, the goofy trailers that are in Grindhouse, Edgar Wright's trailer for Don't, which is like you have no idea what the hell's going on in that movie. You're like, what is happening? It's like just kind of all over the place, and it's just kind of batshit crazy. You're like, I have no clue what's happening in this trailer, but I can't not watch this movie. So it has elements of that as well, where it's like, let's just try to push that kind of, let's surprise audiences as much as possible, throughout the whole thing, which I think, like, to jump on Stanton's point, I think we did a great job of that, because I think, especially at the premiere, that was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in an audience, listening to a crowd react and listening to them get every joke, but then also, like I said, to Stanton's point, is be with him when he's delivering like a badass line, and then immediately as something happens to him, everyone like collectively, like 200 people go, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, like you guys are actually invested in this and you care, and you're like you're here with us. So that's always been amazing. So yeah,
Excellent. Yeah. I love that. Any other movies to drop in if you're thinking of it? Here's your
Mine's
moment.
not really a movie. So when my friends, my hometown friends, got to come and see it, and it was really nice. They haven't seen them in a long time, and they were like, "So what's it about?" And like, what would you describe it? Like, what kind of thing would you base it off of? I was like, they're gamers. So I was like, Call of Duty Zombies, glowing
Yeah,
eyes,
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, picture that with a lot of awesome jokes and gore. That's pretty much it.
that's it.
And
Yeah,
and in a movie
It's
theater.
just,
There you go.
oh,
There you
it's
go.
so good.
For
Perfect.
when I was explaining it to people, a lot of my friends don't watch the more obscure things like The Void. So I was like, "Do you guys remember Last Action Hero?" It's like that is like the
Yep.
overall concept.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they were like, with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the guy that went on to be Tyrion Lannister, or not
right.
Tyrion,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
the dad.
The
yes,
dad,
yes.
yeah.
I was like, yes, Charles Dance.
That's
I
perfect.
had nightmares from that guy's contacts in that movie. Like when I was a kid, I was like, no, that's the creepiest thing I've seen in ages.
Oh yeah. Wow. I was going, yeah, I mean, all of those films work. I guess my next question, maybe for you, Mark, is how can folks watch Grind? Is it too soon to say?
Oh no, it's not too soon to say. So we've actually got, and Ceponis, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got like 4 or 5 screenings coming up here, like relatively soon.
Awesome.
We just got accepted to the Pittsburgh, one of the Pittsburgh film festivals at the Lindsay, which is in Swickley, and I believe that's going to be October 2nd, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So I know that one's coming up for us. That's in Swickley, just outside of Pittsburgh. Beyond that, we're actually at one of the cryptid festivals in Johnstown, PA. We've got a merch table set up. But then we've also got screenings in St. Louis coming up. We've got, I'm trying to think of what else Dan has set up for us.
West Virginia.
Yeah,
West
weird.
Oh,
Virginia,
nice. So lots
end
of
of October.
screenings.
Yeah, so October 24th, I think, is Weirdton, West Virginia. We've got like a pre-Halloween screening coming up. But St. Louis is like a Friday and a Monday. So it's like they complement the weekend at that point. So I think that's the 10th and the 13th of October. And we've got a couple more after that. So.
Yeah, if you can give me a list of what's coming, I can put it in the summary. So if you're watching,
and then
just
we've also
scroll
got
down and look at
Blu-rays
the
and
summary.
comic books available as well. So
Blu-rays, yes. All right, awesome. So physical media is available and will become more available, I'm guessing, as the film gets released. Okay, excellent. So as I mentioned before we started recording, I always do a this or that segment at the end. There's no right or wrong answer, and it's usually kind of fun. So maybe we can just, So the first one is, you probably see this, hear this, expect this one, Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror or Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, the Grindhouse double feature. If you had to choose.
I'm gonna go with Planet Terror just because it's more my wheelhouse. I'm honestly, this is gonna sound sacrilegious, but I am not a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino. I just don't care for his stuff or his style. I think True Romance is probably his best script by far. And that's probably one of my favorite movies in general. So I think that's probably his best script. But yeah, like the first time I saw Death Proof, I was like, this is kind of long-winded and kind of like just doesn't really go anywhere for a long time. Planet Terror, as goofy as it is, like it's just wall to wall, really. So I'm just like, I'm a bit more there for that one. So yeah.
Mhm. What do others think?
Well, since I haven't
seen
neither one of them, but I would go with The Blob.
Okay.
Steve McQueen from way back when I was.
Oh, The Blob. Well, stay tuned. I have some more questions. Okay. Let's see. This is not a movie. This is a drink. Do you prefer black tea or black coffee?
Black tea.
Black tea.
Coffee.
After working at a coffee shop for a
I'm gonna
year.
go tea. Yeah.
Tea. I have lots of teas and one coffee, I think. Okay. Here are some 70s films. Hopefully you've seen them. I Spit on Your Grave from 1978, or Last House on the Left from 1972.
Last House on the Left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Last House on that one, just because that's really uncomfortable to watch that one. So
It just sounds cool. Last House on the Left.
Last House on the Left. Yes.
Sure.
right. You can
I'm
already
gonna-
see the poster. You can just kind of like, yeah.
In the 70s versions, I'm going to say Last House on the Left. Of the remakes, comparing them, I Spit on Your Grave.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 70s. There you go.
There you go. That's better.
Excellent. Okay. I can't argue with that. Okay. Do you prefer back to school horrors or Halloween themed slashers?
Halloween theme.
I'm gonna go Halloween themed slasher because we may have something in our quiver on that one. So
yes,
saying.
I love
Yes.
that. Keep me
Halloween
updated.
But I'm kind of like with Mark with Quentin Tarantino. I don't like Halloween. I think that movie is boring as all get out.
I agree.
So I'm not a Halloween fan, but I will go with Halloween because there is something in the pipeline.
Very cool. Well, like I said, keep me updated. Okay.
We've got a double barrel in the pipeline right now. We've got,
Yes, we
got
do.
Two shots ready to go. So
That's fantastic. Well, you're all welcome to come back on at any time. Just let me know. A few more here, more movies. I've got Pieces from 1982 or The Toolbox Murders from 1978. Maybe a little bit more obscure films, but I love them both.
I think this is going to sound like a joke, but I think I've seen pieces of Pieces, but I haven't seen like, the whole thing.
Okay.
Like
I'm going Toolbox Murders for sure.
Yeah.
Toolbox Murders.
That sounds cool. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Pieces has one of the best moments though, where the woman says, I think her last name is Day, maybe. She's like, bastards. It's worth watching just for that moment. Okay, would you prefer a double feature film in a packed theater or a movie marathon at home?
Double feature.
Theater.
Double feature. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the energy of a crowd where you're just like,
Exactly.
it's like being at a rock concert. Like that's exactly what we do it for.
That's what I was gonna say too for the
Popcorn too.
Well,
And
when
the
we were at
popcorn.
the premiere of Grind, like at the premiere, I'll never forget. I told my friends this. When Wes Brantley comes out of the portal, I have never seen a crowd reaction more crazy than when Captain America picked up Mjolnir in Endgame.
Yeah.
It was like, what the heck? Holy crap! People are nuts in here. It was.
I think I've never had that
good.
much fun, like I said, in a theater. And again, I've edited the thing. I knew exactly what was coming, and I was just like, the moment you hear them, like the crowd was with us, like from the first joke, like the first trailer pops up, and everybody's already laughing. And I'm like, oh, you guys are in for a treat. Like you guys are way in for this already. And so by the time we got to that point, I was like, I could not wait. When that scene starts, I couldn't wait to get to him stepping through. And I was like, I just want to see what they react like. And somebody actually sent me the video. Like we have it in our group chat. And that is probably one of my fondest
Of the
memories
audience?
of the audience reacting and just going batshit crazy. Like it's so good. It's so good.
It was so electric, like being there while it's filming, knowing the joke's coming. And I had like straight goosebumps. Every hair on my arm stood up from the energy from the crowd as soon as it's like, it's Wes fucking Brantley. And I was like, yes.
Yes.
This right here.
So, funny story about his entrance, and this is, I will make it quick. So we have our composer Jonas, who's in Denmark, and he crafted the little bit of music that's like right there when he comes through the portal. And if you listen to the music when he steps through, the note that I gave him, because Brian knows what I'm about to say, the note that I gave Jonas is the music has to sound like it's saying Wes Brantley. So if you listen to it, it goes bomb, 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 and it's almost like Wes Brantley. It gets, and I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I want. And he knocked that out of the park, and I was just like, thank you, God. So yeah,
so good. I'd love to watch your film on the big screen with an audience. So hopefully you get some after the festival circuit, maybe a theatrical release would count me in if it happens, man. Count me in. Okay, just a few more. The Blob from 1988. Sorry, Stanton, it's the remake. Or Society from 1989.
Oh, the Blob.
The Blob.
Yeah.
Blob.
I do love the original Blob, but yeah, Blob across the board. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Movie theater popcorn or kettle corn?
Movie
theater. Movie theater.
With lots of butter.
Does anyone like kettle corn?
Yeah, but not in the movie theater.
Not in the movie theater. Yeah.
Kettle corn, I want 2 pieces. But if you put a bucket of movie theater popcorn in me, I will mindlessly eat a whole bucket over the course of the I'm not even hungry. Why am I still eating this?
For sure. Yeah, I always say, if the movie isn't good, at least the popcorn was good. That's something that at least that you can count on. Okay, 3 more. Hopefully you've seen these: Street Trash from 1987 or From Beyond from 1986.
From Beyond.
I'm gonna go From Beyond.
From
Beyond.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare something with From Beyond. Okay.
Holmes, Barbara Crampton, come on.
Yeah.
Ken Foree. I'm like, so good.
Legends. Yes. Okay. Demonic possessions or demonic goblins in movies?
Demonic possessions.
Yeah.
We need more
I'm gonna go
goblins.
possession. I'll go possession. Yeah.
We need more ghoulies, right?
Yes, I love
goblins.
I like the goblins and stuff. I like the chaotic energy that it brings, where you're like, what is even happening?
Yeah, like Critters, Hobgoblins, one of the worst movies ever.
They go a little off track, and I start laughing at the demonic creatures. Though it's like, these are silly.
I feel like demonic possession ones end up getting really religious a lot of times, and I'm just like, I'd rather chaotic energy of little things that are always dipping in and out of the shadows, and you're like, am I seeing something? Am I just being paranoid? And then suddenly something's eating your leg, and you're like, well, there we go.
Well, I was right. Right.
Okay, there you go. I have one last one, and that is the Jaws franchise or the Halloween franchise.
Mark, you want to answer this one?
But all the films, I don't know.
Well, I'll still take Jaws over Halloween.
Jaws, okay.
The dolly zoom it's Jaws.
So when you say the Jaws franchise, let's put a caveat on this. We're talking about only the first one. We're not talking about 2.
Come on, Jaws 3
I don't know.
is amazing.
We'll consider 2 because 2 is like
Jaws.
It's not terrible.
Jaws the Revenge.
Jaws the Revenge. Jaws 3D in the theater was amazing. When that shark comes into the screen, it was just so real.
I'm going to say that there might only be
boring shark. No.
Three Jaws movies, with 2 of them being garbage, still vastly outweighs 20 garbage Halloween movies.
Grace, that's well said, and I agree completely.
Yeah, I agree.
The last Halloween was... Sorry.
Can't wait till Halloween 33.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure Michael Myers.
Now 143.
Why is he teaming up with a
Casey
kid?
with a freaking,
What?
Rolling
Well,
pin.
somebody else did a review of Halloween, and they were like, have you realized how many alternate universe, there's 25 different storylines that they've rebooted and and I'm like, come on, just stay with one.
There are a lot of timelines. I will give you that. And let's not talk
Yeah.
about Resurrection. That was the worst
Oh
fun
And
my
ever
God.
made.
my favorite is when
Friday
they
the
jumped the shark,
13th?
just put him in space.
That's like Friday the 13th. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's just
Yeah.
a slasher killer in a
Like,
cabin.
oh, we're
Now
doing
he's in
this. Oh, okay,
space.
got it. Yeah,
What?
perfect.
It's
Yes.
funny because
They
growing
put
up,
Pinhead in space too.
oh,
Go
did
ahead.
we? Oh, I missed that one.
Chuck,
Well, I
Chucky was
really
in
did.
space, right?
Everybody's in space.
I really
Everyone's
like
in
the
Wes
space.
Brantley's going to be in space.
Wes Brantley in space?
Oh,
What? Did I hear that?
Wes Brantley's going to be
yes.
in space.
Attacking the zombie strippers, was it?
Okay. In all
From
fairness,
Mars.
even James Bond went to space.
James Bond went into space. Everybody goes into space.
So,
Right,
so I think Wes Brantley can go to space too.
Wes Brantley is
Yeah.
space.
You think?
Oh my gosh, we are coming off the rails. It's the next frontier, right? So thank you all for
Space
chatting
isn't
with me
big enough for
today.
Wes Brantley, guys. Come on.
Yes, so many sequels in the mix there. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, all of you. Congratulations on Grind. Like I said, it's fantastic. I had so much fun with it. Watched it twice. I loved it, and I'll definitely get a physical copy when it comes out. So let's see. If you're watching, like and subscribe. And thank you everyone for joining today. This has been awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. It was lovely.
Yes, agreed. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.